All right, let me know how my audio is, guys. As always, you know, it's how we do things. Hope everybody's well. We're gonna go in a second. Before we get going, I want you guys to type ready in the chat where you're from, what you shoot, and what you shoot with. All right, type ready, where you are from, what you shoot, and what you shoot with. All right. I'm gonna go in a second. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. Let me see if this switcher is working. Boom. Okay, cool. Bingo. What's going on, everyone? Is that light? Oh, I see what happened. Oh man, it's always something, right, guys? But this is what happens when you self-produce, right? What's going on, Sean Vagar? Eric, how you been, buddy? You've been coming to the space for everything. How the event's been going over for you, buddy? Let me throw this light on. Nope. Nope. And bingo, bango. No? Yes? Maybe? I swear we're gonna get going here, guys. I promise. I don't know why. It's the Met Gala, right? Where there's all sorts of weird stuff going on in the city right now. Anyway, happy Star Wars Day, everybody. May the 4th be with you, huh? Had to do it. Had to do it. All right. Shooting with a Nikon FM at the moment, a little retro action. So I have an FM. My dad actually gave me one of those when I was a kid. I still have my F100, my F6. I wanted an FM3A and I never picked one up. Maybe I should revisit that. Maybe I should get myself an FM3A at some point. I got enough F-mount glass. Why not? Dude, there's stuff everywhere in here. This is crazy. Okay. Oh, man. Shooting with Fujifilm. Portrait and Street. Okay. Fujifilm is great for both of those. Absolutely. From Germany, shooting with Sony. All right. Cool. Miami. All right. I feel like everybody I know has gone to or come back from Miami in the last like couple months. Before we get going, let me just do the usual where we talk about the stuff that's happening here this week. Also, someone left me like the craziest, rudest comment ever on last week's video where they were like, I really wanted to see what this was. And I think they were talking about the Pro Photo Remote that we went over last week. But your incessant 12 minutes of intro and your banter, just get to the point and put chapters and maybe organize this. I'm like, you are new here. This is a very chill format. Everything else we do is very curated, very title, earmarked, all the stuff. Here, it's a free form because you are as much a part of this as I am. You dictate what kind of happens here. If you guys don't have questions, I try to bring stuff that I think you'd be psyched to check out, or some new things that maybe we can get an exclusive on, like the Pro Photo firmware for the multi-pop and the cycling modes and stuff like that. But man, I just was like, way to miss the mark on that one, you know? So, and I get it. Not everybody wants to hang out for an hour, but that's what this format's for, right? So if you are clicking on a video that says it's over an hour long and you're expecting a quick snapshot, cut up, little tiny edited, hand delivered to you answer to one question you have or something, it's on you. It's on you. All right. Nice shirt. Yeah. So again, this is my buddy Mike. I shoot film co. Actually, you know, I'm gonna put the link in the chat because you know what, my guy deserves it. He's one guy. He just loves doing this. And I'm going to give him a quick shout out in the chat. This is where I get these nerd shirts from, and he mixes a lot of punk with it, a lot of retro gaming. So how could you not support someone like that? Go check that out. I put the link in the chat if you guys want to poke around. I have a couple, actually not a couple, I have one of the mugs, which he made them look like rolls of film, which I think is super cool, right? So that's something that's not like an Amazon seller or some random Temu thing. This is just a photo nerd that's doing something independently, and I believe in supporting that. So this is not sponsored. Mike doesn't give me anything. I bought everything I have from him because I believe punks support punks. Let's go. All right. So let me just jump in this really quick. We'll get through the we'll get through this part really quick. Okay. So tomorrow in the afternoon, 1 to 5. If you have a Sony and you're in New York, you can come in and get a free cleaning. They're also gonna be here with 2 reps that can help you with your firmware updates, talk you through your options, check out some other stuff like lenses and bodies and stuff like that. So it's a bit of a Sony day tomorrow. If you want to come through 1 to 5, 42 West 18th Street, come hang out. It says it's gonna be streamed online, but it's not. Yeah, it says, please note, this is a don't miss in-person event only. Okay, cool. Then I got Coffee with Creators with Karen Haberberg. She's a photographer and she's an award-winning photographer and director. And she does some like really big campaigns, visual campaigns. We're gonna get into that. She's super funny. She comes in here all the time, and I've helped her out with some choices and some things she was looking at. I think she's super fun. So I'm pretty psyched she's coming through. Next week, this is like bucket list for me. This is the one and only Neil Leifer is going to be here for Coffee with Creators. I mean, you're talking about over half a century of legendary images from Neil Leifer. You probably remember all the Muhammad Ali shots that you've probably seen everywhere that was on some poster at some frame shop somewhere, right? This is going to be nuts. I can't believe he's coming through. I'm very psyched. I'm so glad we feature these legends here, you know? So Neil will be here. And then on the 20th, we got a double header. We got Jeremy Saffer, who is a buddy of mine. He shoots a lot of like metal bands and I think he shoots for horror conventions. I'm pretty sure he shoots. Anyway, he's gonna be with Coffee Creators, but then on that same day in the evening, on the 20th, he's gonna actually have a band in here that he's gonna photograph a band and show you how he goes about that, doing quick backstage portraits. This is going to be sick, all right? I'm pretty psyched he's here. He's not always in town. I think he even said to me, like, I do not come to New York, but I will come to New York for you. I was like, cool, Jeremy, let's go. I also think if you see him as a speaker at one of these trade shows, jump in his class. He is a Nanlite guy. He is a Matthews grip guy. He's done a lot of hands-on workshops there. Really, really cool guy. He shoots Hasselblad, Leica, and does some really elevated lighting. And he shoots a lot of groups, which we do get a lot of requests from you guys about shooting groups. Well, guess what? Not only do you get a group, but it's not a boring wedding thing. No offense to you wedding guys, but he's going to shoot a band. Come on, come on, come on. Forget about it. More stuff. If you guys want to check it out, you can check it out right here at the Adorama events page. Just scan that, stay up on it. If you're on Eventbrite, just hit follow on Adorama as an organizer and you'll get notified when the events get posted. You can RSVP, get notified when we go live if you can't make it in person, but always RSVP because you'll at least get more information about where you can catch it, if you couldn't be here in person, or if there's any changes to the event or whatever. Just make sure you hit RSVP on whatever you can that you're interested in Adorama. It also helps us out showing how much interest you have in the events so that I can go to all the powers that be and be like, look how many people want the stuff we're doing. And when I get interest, I get more resources. If I get more resources, you get cool stuff. Serious, you know? Gaston is saying he just got the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Where do they come up with these names, right? And Explorer Grip Pro. What a great little camera for street. Cool. I have not used that camera, but I did use an Insta360 for my own channel. I think I used the Go 3 or something like that. I put it on my sleeve and I wore it during an entire demo I did here. So you guys would get kind of a first-person view of what it's like to do a demo in front of a crowd to a stream. That's a video on my channel if you guys want to check that out. Maybe let me see if I can find it. YouTube /last. No. YouTube.com/last/xwitness. If you guys want to check out me using an Insta360 while I was live here at Adorama. It's a bit of a vloggy one because I'm kind of talking about what the headspace is for getting ready to do a demo, and what to consider, and what could be a problem, and what you know. I thought it was something that not a lot. Oh, wrong link. Share, copy, boom, boom. Okay, that's the link. Sorry guys, little self-promotion. You got to forgive me, right? Okay, so if you guys don't know, I throw up on my Instagram, my personal Instagram, which is right here, a question sticker, usually a day before we go live here on a Monday. And I ask you guys what you want to talk about or ask me or get into. So let me check those question stickers right now. As always, I don't check them till I'm live because I think it is super fun to jump without a net. Tony's asking, Seth, is the Met Gala considered a Super Bowl for photographers? What's it all about? So I wouldn't say it's a Super Bowl, but it's definitely adjacent to something like Fashion Week, except it is more condensed. So we were just talking about it, probably around, Joe, what do we think? Like maybe 3 o'clock, you get the Met Gala rush in here of all the people going, oh, I need a flash.
Everyone, I broke my flash.
You broke your flash, right? But I think you're probably gonna get a rush in about another 2 hours. Probably, right? So
Most thing is to no broken flashes. It's better for them.
no broken flashes is better, yes. So I wouldn't say it's the Super Bowl. I would say it is a major event here in New York. A lot of Getty photographers, a lot of publications, a lot of media, a lot of people trying to make something happen. Like they get thrown in there as a testing ground for a media company because they got like a lot of people. So they'll add an extra one, right? A 17th shooter to grab some things on the fly because there's so much going on. A lens can only be pointed in one direction at all times, right? So not to mention social video clips, vertical video clips. Like the more they can document and produce out of it, the better. And there's just so much tagability, I will say, right? Celebrities, designers, brands. It's unreal. I will say, I love the Met. It's actually, you know what? So anyone in this chat from New York, do you guys remember when the Met used to give you metal pins when your entrance was like a different colored metal pin that you would fold over your collar or like your sleeve? Do you guys remember that? I still have some of those from when I was a kid, but I always keep. Now they give you a sticker and they make you put the sticker on a piece of paper on the way out and it gets like inundated. Well, I always keep mine. Still, like I slap it on like a wallet or something and I keep it there. So I just like seeing how many times I've been to the Met, and it's no matter how many times I go, I still love it. I absolutely love the Met. If you're coming to New York, it's definitely a must. And the costume exhibit is very cool. If you watched Coffee with Creators this last Wednesday, I talked to Jolene Lupo. She is the photographer for the New York City Medical Examiner. She's also got a residency at a cemetery. So we got into a little bit of macabre talk. And one of the best exhibits I have ever seen was at the Met, and it was called The Death Becomes Her exhibit, basically. And what it was basically showing you was women's fashion throughout the Victorian era and when life expectancy was a little short for us humans. So women were always in a stage of mourning, whether it was family members or children or something like that, infant mortality, stuff like that. And they showed like how the detailing changed in the different stages of mourning, and they almost would never get out of it because by the time they were done with one death, they were on to another one and reset their fashion from less detail and more black. It was just so interesting, and that's the kind of stuff the Met gives you. And that Met exhibit was the costume exhibit, which is what this is basically about, right? So is the fashion exhibit. So cool. I remember the pins back when you could pay anything and get in. You can still pay anything and get in. You can still do that. It's a misconception. So because the lines are so long, if you don't want to wait on those lines, you can go to one of the machines now and pay a full admission price to skip the line, which I think is smart, support the arts. I try to always give them something, when I was a broke punk, if you had a $5 in your pocket you could get uptown, you could go hang out at the Met all day, I'll tell you right now, if you were in art school like I was, and you were dating some creative girls, you'd be like, let's go to the Met. And you would save a ton of money on that date. You know what I'm saying? But it was still cool, right? It was still cool. And they understood, I think they understood, hopefully. I don't know. Maybe not Susan, but one of them did, Would be cool to cover the Met Gala. I need to network the right people in the industry. I mean, sometimes a lot of it is just showing up. So while you might not be able to get into the actual Met Gala itself, but documenting the scene that's going on just outside of it, posting, tagging, and you never know. You might be coming up on a feed of somebody who hires and goes, this person really gets it. They see the moments. They got, I like their style. I think they're technically sound. They seem ambitious. They've got a hunger. You want to go kick rocks. You got to go where they're kicking rocks. You want to, you make your own opportunities, guys. You know what I mean? So if you really want to go do something like that, go to it. Go and try to get what you can out of it, you know, even if it's just street scenes and civilians reacting to the Met, and so like, go do it, you know. And every now and then another photographer comes out or something like that, just, you want to say what's up, or don't be weird. If it's somebody that you recognize as a photographer in this industry and you like their work, just tell them like, hey, I really like your work. They'll see that you got a camera in your hand and they'll be like, thank you, I got to go back to work. You know, don't bother them, but you know, being human, you know, it's one of those things that we can't forget. Okay. Did you use the 360 or DJI for the grind? Oh, so I filmed a death match in Brooklyn, but a death match, it's kind of a joke. It's just like for fun. I used the Osmo Pocket 3 for that as my test for that little camera to see how it goes, because it was a crazy environment. It was super low light. So that link that I just put in there now is for the deathmatch video that I did on my channel. But stay here for now, please. Stay here for now. Okay, so I'm curious to see what's going to go on with the Met Gala. I think also for us photo nerds, while the fashion's amazing and all that kind of stuff, you know, we're looking in the background. We're trying to see what lenses are on what cameras and what brands are in those mixes and stuff like that. And, you know, you just kind of get psyched on these custom built out rigs. I don't know if you guys have been staying up on my IG, but I built out a Nikon ZR, like how I want. It's like this micro handheld full frame cine rig that I got into, which I'm super amped to go and put out in the wild. I'm gonna go give it a test drive at the anime convention in August, like really hard, like really put it through its hard paces. Right now I'm just kind of like taking around the city and taking things in. Oh my gosh, Quinn, I totally forgot about you. I'm so sorry. I know. I got to take her to the Met. She's always like, we never go anywhere nice. I know. Guys, Quinn, geez, I am the worst. I am the worst. I apologize. Vagar's asking, thoughts on Pro Photo OCF Beauty Dish Silver 2-foot. Are you talking about the collapsible one? I don't use a Beauty Dish super often. I was wondering if it's worth getting over the Pro Photo Beauty Dish Silver. Look, I am in the camp of hard beauty dishes. And I think we did a stream here where I put the hard dish versus the collapsible dish. And you can find that on this playlist. It was like one of the first 20 episodes for sure, maybe even the first 10. So I would go take a look at that, Vagar. We went through it for an hour, so, you know. But I am, when it comes to like collapsible beauty dishes, they're just not the same as, and the shape and everything of, they're just a different type of modifier to me. Just putting a deflector plate in something isn't a beauty dish. I think we see a lot of modifiers that just get put on the market as like beauty dish, and it just has a deflector plate in it, but that's not what it is. A beauty dish is a specific shape, hits a certain way, is even, has a very snap, but the real thing is that being able to get it close, have it fall off fast, and be flat, but also be a hard light that when you can get in close and take away that hot spot from being so close. It's a very specific tool. I see a lot of people leaning on beauty dishes like for everything, and I get it, but it really, there's really a specific thing about it when you start getting that psychotic about the details of your light. So I do have questions from the question sticker, so I'm going to go through those really quick, and there's only a couple, so it shouldn't take too long. All right. Okay, Studio 81, is that you, Edgar? Edgar, are you in this chat? If you're in this chat, I'll, oh, that's an interesting question. Okay. I'll go over that one. And if Kathy Brown is in the chat, Kathy, you around? She's got a question as well. So I'm looking for Edgar and I'm looking for Kathy. If you got questions, I mean, you have questions, I'll get into them, okay? But if you're not in the chat, I'll answer them. Hopefully watch some playback and let me know in the comments what's up. It's tough when you guys ask questions and I need like a little more information from you and you're not here. So I'm just gonna fill in the gaps the best I can. Studio 81 Portraits on Instagram is asking, what's a safe way to join 2 9-foot rolls together for a large dance team photo? Thanks, Edgar. Okay, well, I guess it is Edgar. So what I'm guessing you're asking is, taking two seamless, let me see if I can make a bit of a, let's see if I can do this properly. Oh, hey, Kathy, I'm going to get to your question next, but Edgar, this one's for you. So if you have a 9-foot roll of paper and a 9-foot roll of paper and you're looking to do this, you're looking to put them together so that you have 18 feet of paper. The first thing I want to urge you to think about is, do you really need 18 feet of paper? I'm already getting some weird looks from the gallery over here. Yeah, 18 feet is a lot, guys. 9 feet is a substantial amount. The largest width paper you can find, at least in, I think now, is, they say 12 feet, but it's really 11 and a half feet. And that's the widest you're going to get in one roll. Do you think that would suffice? Do you think you could sacrifice maybe 3 feet on either side and still get away with it? Because if you're just going to leave the sides, you can fill that in post if you really had to. Otherwise, if you want to practically put 2 rolls of paper together, man, you are in for it. So the only way that I would say to do it, that would be with the least amount of problems, because you can always get creative with it, but the least amount of problems when it comes to putting them evenly together, rolled down evenly together, because it's not just about the seam lining up, it's about, is it straight to the light? Because you're going to have one be a little off and one be straight. When the light cascades across, it's going to hit that second paper weird, because one piece of paper is going to be like a little off like that, right? So the way I would do it is honestly a speed rail. And a speed rail, you can get into really long lengths. You're going to look for something, if you're doing 18 feet, you're probably going to look for a 20-foot speed rail. And a speed rail, at the end of the day, is a pipe, right? So if you have access to some sort of, I don't know, plumbing supplier or hardware in your area, and they can get you a 20-foot pipe, 19 feet minimum, all right? Because you're not only going to need the pipe for the paper, which is 2 9-feet rolls, but you're going to need some bite on either side so it can go into some sort of mount. What I would probably do is run, actual stands for this. I probably wouldn't do auto poles because you're not 100% sure what that middle support is going to need. So I would run actual stands and something that's got some footprint to it, not travel stands, not jank, you know, some substantial stands. You can get something on there that has a J hook like this, right? Right? A nice J hook. This is on a super clamp, so you could actually take a C stand. I don't even do it with C stands. I would do it with like high rollers or something. You can put it up there and you can clamp it down, and then you've got J clamps however high up you want to go. You can also do it with Cardellini's, which, do I have one? No way, I have a Mathellini? Dude, you gotta be kidding me. You have something like this, which you can put into, and I would get a smaller one. This is a really big Cardellini, actually. But you could run this, put the pipe in there, tighten it down, and this can go into a head, right? So there's that. And that's what I was gonna say, Dan, is honestly, rethink it a little bit. If you really need that much paper, maybe a better bet would be one, using fabric. A fabric background could go a lot easier for you, though you might not want to worry about having to steam it or texture in the background, because I'm not sure why you feel you need the paper, right? Was it requested? What I would do is try to talk them into shooting in their actual space. Because you're saying, what'd you call it? What'd you say they were? They were I think you said it was a dance company? For a dance team. So if it's a dance team, why not have them in their actual studio space, like photograph in their dance studio, show the environment? You know, I don't think the paper is going to basically make a clean slate of an environment, take away the atmosphere that they always work in. So I don't know if it's a creative choice. I don't know if it is a request from your client, and maybe this might take a little client education, maybe suggestion, because you're asking to run a lot of paper. I mean, let's be very honest here, you know. So you got a couple of options here. I would probably do the Cardellini, to be honest with you. I would take this arm out, right? I would run a Cardellini into like a high roller or something like that. You might even need to rent these stands, you know? And then, do I have a pipe actually? Maybe I have a pipe. I don't have a pipe, but here's a wooden dowel, right? So look at the size of this wooden dowel, and I wouldn't even run something this big, but a pipe, like a metal pipe, you can run like a smaller diameter or whatever. So you can run this and tighten it down. Come on. Right? And then you do a speed rail for about 19 feet minimum, you know, you're okay. So I just, it's not easy. So I would, if you haven't done it before, get there, and you're really going to do this, get there very early if you can. You're going to run into problems you'd even think of. Your light's going to do things that you didn't think of, because you're going to have a seam down the middle no matter what. You want that to be as clean as possible. So I would also set it off from the wall so they can get behind there, because you might even want to run some gaff behind that paper to join it so that it can be in unison the way it sweeps, right? You don't want to have you don't want to have your paper doing two different things. And again, it's not so much about the paper being just straight or the seam being straight. It's also about how the light's going to hit it, right? Because the point of the paper is to have like a clean background. Well, if out of nowhere the light's doing completely something else, it might not look that clean, kid, you know? So think about it like that. I hope that answers your question. So one, ask them if you really need to do it. Maybe photograph them inside their actual environment as the backdrop instead of a piece of paper. Two, consider fabric. If you can, you might have an easier time with that because you can just like hook it and do whatever you're going to do with it. Or three, speed rail. Two, I would even do junior stands probably, you know, cut like junior combo stands, you know. Yeah, so you could totally on the back tape the back together just so it acts in unison. You're still gonna have to edit that seam out. There is no getting away from it. I know someone on playback is probably commenting like, just do generative fill or whatever. I mean, that could be an option, but again, if a 12-foot roll, because you can get 11.5-foot rolls, right? If 11.5 feet is not wide enough for you, and all you have to do is fill in the sides to make it match, we're in 2026, and you could do that and save yourself a lot of pain, you know? So think about that, all right? And I'm not even sure how big a dance team is. You know, the last time I photographed a dance team was 2005, 6, somewhere around there. So I am out of practice on that one, kid. All right. I hope that answers. Everybody good with that? Does that sound like a decent answer for you guys? All right. Can't believe I had this dowel. It's funny. I have this dowel down here because I was doing a test for something that I can't talk about, and I needed someone to swing something at me. So I had Daniel in here swinging this wooden dowel at me while I shot. And I was like, if he lets go with this dowel, because if you know Daniel, not the most physical prowess guy ever, I was like, I'm going to kill him. I'm just going to kill him, you know? Hey, what's going on, Omar? Besides super clamps and that calamari one you mentioned, what other grips are useful for studio use? Look, I haven't met a clamp I haven't liked. In fact, there's two styles of Cardellini clamps, or as Matthews calls them, Mathellini clamps, where there's center jaw, where if you need to be offset for some reason, like this one is if you don't have a lot of room from whatever you're biting down to like a wall, and then you have it, you can mount off of there. Like you're supposed to mount the light off of this while this is biting down on a pipe. But if you needed it the opposite way, where you needed the light or whatever you're mounting closer to the pipe itself, you could do a center jaw, which is pretty cool. These are some of the best clamps ever. They're like gold. If you can get yourself Cardellini clamps, Mathellini clamps of all sizes, make sure. A clamps are always a go-to. If you are shooting, I don't care if you're in a studio, location, whatever, and you do not have A clamps, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, you're crazy, all right? They're cheap and they're gold, okay, guys? Super clamps are always a go-to. Absolutely love them. C338s, let me see if I got one in here, because if I do, that would be awesome. No, that's a Vesa mount. Tell me I got one. Yes! Nope. Oh, man. Did I put it in the sky? I think I used it. I think I used it. Okay. No. It's one of the best clamps, and it's actually the clamp that is holding up all the lights up in the event space here. Oh, is this it? No, that's another super clamp. Also, safety cables. Don't overlook getting safety cables, okay, guys? If you are putting anything over people's heads, oh my God, I have so much stuff. Safety cables, right? You wrap it around whatever is going up in the sky, wrap it around something that's fixed, like all the lights here on the truss. Let me show you on the truss here, okay? All these lights up here have safety cables. Anything above has safety cables. They're cheap. They're standard. You guys should all be rocking safety cables on whatever you can, especially in something that's like a fixed space, like a studio, that you're not going to be breaking down and setting back up and stuff like that. There's so many. Let me see if I can find this Avenger clamp. Avenger C388, C3. Let me see if I can find it. It's like C338, C Avenger. I really, this clamp has really opened up my eyes, and I always get the number wrong because I'm a jerk. Okay. Maybe another time I'll find it. If I find, oh, here it is. Is this it? Yeah. So this is a version of it, but this is the one I have are quick action. So this is awesome. You can mount it to anything, and you've got yourself a 5/8 post right there. The ones that we have here are what they call quick action, where right here is a button, and it shoves the this threaded rod all the way up to make contact. Then you tighten it down with the lever, and it comes with a safety cable built in. See that? So it's awesome. It's really great if you're doing like really hardcore mounting to things in a truss, over in grids, stuff like that. I feel like I'm going on a tangent here. I apologize, guys. I'll put this in the chat so you guys can take a look at it too. And let me see. See, this is what happens when Omar jumps in the chat. Oh, this is it. Cool. Found it. I was right. C338. So see, I was right. So this is the same thing, but you see this silver knob right here? That's a button that lets you shove the threaded rod all the way to making contact with whatever you're clamping to. So let's say you're working fast and you don't want to have to sit there spinning the thread. You just bang it up. It's so much better. I love it. This thing is amazing. Amazing, guys. All right. I'll put that in there. Man, I'm going to be tagging products like crazy on this stream for sure. There's just so many clamps. You know what I would tell you to do is follow Matthews Grip or Kupo Grip or Avengers Grip. And those three brands will keep you in the loop on what's available for grip, what they're making, the way people use them. There's things out there that I know will change the way you work, will change, I'm not kidding you, will change your life because you never even heard of them or realize what the potential of them is. I love grip, dude. Like, I love seeing solutions to stuff. I love seeing well-designed things. I love seeing them being like perfect pieces to a puzzle. Oh, I love it so much. Love it so much. Oh man. Okay. So Tony's asking, when shooting more than one person in a group, do you keep eye tracking off as it only focuses? Yeah, I mean, generally, I only really use eye tracking if it's like a hectic situation that I'm trying to pull people out of really quickly. I'm working quickly, or I'm just in a studio and there's no mistaking what's going on in front of my lens, stuff like that. But no, if you're shooting groups, especially stacked groups, like rows of people, you kind of want to keep that focus point somewhere centralized, you know, and closing down your aperture really helps out, obviously, for depth of fields like that. So yeah, usually Martine is in the chat, but he's in the chat on Wednesdays. He's a big fan of Co-op with Creators. If you are not following Matthew's Grip on Instagram and watching all of Martine's videos, you're killing me. All right, he does some of the coolest stuff. But we got Omar. Omar is the OG right here. Hey man, I think I saw is your channel up to 250,000? Congratulations. I'm not sure. Am I wrong? You're up there though. You're definitely around 240 for sure. If you guys aren't checking out this guy right here, Omar, you're missing out. One of the best channels, one of the best, I want to say, like, not attitudes, but demeanor and headspace of the game for sure. Real big fan. And he's got plenty of videos on Adorama TV. He did a bunch of Fuji film releases for us, and Co-op with Creators, which we got to get you back on, Omar. I'm trying to get you to do a demo, homie. Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Okay, so went down a little bit of a grip rabbit hole. I am kind of upset though. Did I use my last C338 clamp? Is that what that is? I'm gonna take that down. Why did I put that there? There's nothing on it. Whatever. Anyway, you're retiring. Are you serious? Are you ending your channel? Are you serious? Wait, what? Omar, are you really ending your channel? I'm on a delay, so I'm not gonna get an answer. Kathy, are you in the chat? So Kathy asked, what's the most compact light to use while traveling, packing space being limited? So what do you mean by light? What do you mean by compact? And what brand of lighting are we in? Are we talking about constant light? Are we talking about strobe? Are we talking about on-camera flash? Or no joking? Are you serious? What are you doing, Omar? Omar, do not end your channel. Yo, are you kidding me? Call me. Are you kidding me right now? Call me, kid. Don't make these jokes right now if you're serious. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Omar, I'm going to call you on speaker right now. Are you out of your mind? Has too many bar mitzvahs gotten into your brain? I know you've been busy, man. The cool thing about this is you only feed into it whenever you want to. Like, I put out a video a month on my channel. Yeah, okay, so he's only joking because Gerald put out a retiring video. Jeez, man. Ugh. Anyway, I can't remember what I was talking about now. Omar, you derail me. So Kathy, talk to me more about what you're looking for. Is it strobe? Is it constant light? What do you mean by compact? Like, you want to be able to put it in this much space, or are you talking about a studio light? Are you talking about a speed light? Well, what are we talking about here? Okay. Because in my opinion, a speed light is still one of the most compact and easy to carry around options, and remotes have gotten ridiculously small. So you can get any type of small pocketable speed light, something to mount it with, maybe a foot so it could stand on something, or even just laying it down on its side when you need to, and a remote, and you're fine. You can also put it on camera and bounce it all over the place, which I know Omar knows all about with the events that he shoots. But if you want to buy something with some power to it, you have Explorer 100s, which punches above its weight pretty heavily, and you have Evolve 200, and you have the Evolve 200. Okay, so let's talk about these. Okay, so you have this, which is basically a little bit more power than a speed light that does not have a shoe on it. So you can either have it handheld or put it on, even throw it onto something like a super clamp and put it on a post. You got a lot of options when it comes to like mounting this thing. And then you've also got the Evolve 200, which has a bunch of more power to it, but it is a little, you're talking about a bigger size, but for what it is, it's pretty small. But if you're talking about really small, I mean, this is literally the size of a soda can. When I did the video for this light, I put it next to a Coke can. So actually, can I find that video? Seth Miranda, Explore 100. Okay. Maybe Adorama. Adorama, Explore 100. There it is. Okay, so in this video, I mean, look at how small that light is. Gives you a little bit more, gives like a third of a stop more power than a speed light. This was a while ago, man. Look at how wide-eyed I was. But I think I literally put it next to, so if you're not going to use it on camera, right? It's a nice little option. You got a zooming head. It's very lightweight. I think I even talk about it in this video. I even show you guys some umbrella tricks in this video, by the way. So look how long ago this was. When was this? 5 years ago I did this video. Oh my gosh. Oh man, what a different world we live in now. Oh, and look, what's on that umbrella? What's on that umbrella? An A-clamp. See that? See that? Get a bunch of A-clamps, kids. Stop fooling yourself, okay? So I'll put this video in the chat so you guys can take a look at it. That little soda can 100 is actually a favorite one to use. Then I have the 300 one, need more power. Yeah. So I would just watch your color with the two different strobes matching. That's all I'll say about that. But the 100, you got some good options on there, and you can get an adapter to use for a larger modifiers for Bowens mount. So if you already have Bowens mount, like let's say you have a bunch of soft boxes, you just get an S2 bracket, S as in Seth, S2 bracket. Actually, I'll put the links in the chat. How's that? So this is the Explore 100. And if you had to put that on camera, you could make something happen with a bracket if you really had to, but you could just get a speed light too. So hang on a second. Let me, flashpoint, S bracket. Okay, so this is the S bracket that I was telling you about. So literally put your light in here and it makes everything Bowens mount. Okay, so if you needed to, you could actually use your other modifiers. That said, if you are looking at that Explore 100 and it's around $300 or so, if you look at the flashpoint, let me show you. If you look at the flashpoint like X100, which is a round-headed strobe, that one alone is a little bit more money than that soda can. So what I would do, I mean, I don't know if you really want it shoe mounted, you need it on the camera, but what you could do with the 100 is get a little, if you have the remote, hand hold it, just hand hold it. And you as close as you put it to the camera, it's on camera, right? But you could also, you know, put it in a scene behind a wall, under a table, whatever you want to do. But the 100 might be your most compact unit if you're in the flashpoint system. So you can check that out. Let me see. But if you wanted something like really small, you know, let me see. This right here is the V1, which will save you $100, but it is, I believe, a little less power, and it is shoe mounted. Do you really need it shoe mounted is your question, right? Or do you want to have more of a micro monolight kind of a thing? They make a ton of different things for this, Craig, for sure. Let's put it this way. Anything you're trying to do in this era, there is something made for it. It is not like when I was coming, years ago in my early days where like you had to make your own speed rings to fit onto a speed light or whatever, like whatever plastic they can mold, they're going to make it, right? I'll put this in the chat as well, but pretty much that you really got to make a decision. I haven't tried the IT32 out, to be honest with you. I'm sorry. Yeah, so you can find some of the stuff used for sure, but take a look at the price differential and decide, because the thing about used strobes is there's no count on them unless they're really high-end strobes. Like, you do not know how many times it's been fired, what condition it's been in, how much it's overheated over time, what's been like, just, you know, really look at how much you're saving versus the dice you're rolling a little bit, you know. Although Adorama does have, I think, a 30-day warranty for used at that 30 days, you know. So if you're only saving 40 bucks, you might want to think about it, you know. You're not a shoe mounted girl. Okay. You're in the Flashpoint system. So check out the 100 if you want the most compact light. And don't forget, if that soda can light is small enough for you and you've got some room, take a second one, right? Now you got a key and a fill, or you got a background light and a key, or you got two lights that bounce into the ceiling and fill the space up. You know, it gives you a lot more options, and you can always just keep on adding to that, and it'll go with the rest of your system with Flashpoint, right? So if you're already in Flashpoint, if you already have remotes, if you already have modifiers, it's kind of feels like, you know, an easy plug and play kind of a thing, you know? Clothespins are cool if you're throwing gels and stuff like that. I actually am more in the camp of using binder clips instead of clothespins. They're metal, they can take heat, and I just find that they're more secure than clothespins sometimes. If you've ever been on set and the clothespin wasn't put on well, or it's very shady, like overly stretched out, it'll shoot off out of nowhere. Yeah, they're cheap and they're great to have around. So are binder clips. I'd say that's another one that's overlooked a lot. I like binder clips a lot. And binder clips can be used for holding wardrobe back. Like if you have some borrowed wardrobe that's like a little loose on somebody, you can take it back, binder clip, and you're good. So, you know. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Facebook Marketplace for gear. I'd never, at least when you, I'll say this from any retailer, but especially, you know, here, obviously, at least someone who knows what they're looking at, looked at it, and at least they're willing to back it up. You know what I mean? So the used, and don't forget, like, the used department is what separates a pro shop from, like, I don't know, a big box electronics store, you know, stuff like that. That's what a pro shop's about, you know, is the used department. And I love the rare stuff that pops up. It's so great, you know. Kathy, how did that sound for you? You okay with it? What would you recommend for a flash bracket for run and gun event type work? Well, it depends on what kind of bracket you're looking at. Are you looking for something that flips? Are you looking for something that goes close to lens? Honestly, it's not about which bracket, it's about what style bracket. So for example, I really like this one, but not everybody does, right? Oh man, what is it called now? Oh man, what's it called? Oh my gosh. This one. So I'm a big fan of this one because it gets my strobe as close to my lens as possible, so that I get a very forward flash and I get that very candid raw feel without having a shadow projected all over the place because it's off center. So this gets it closer to lens. But I have definitely shot with some people next to me that have gone like, I hate having that thing right next to my hand or whatever. Then there's some people that like it really high up away from the lens and with a flip bracket for vertical and horizontal. So really it's more about dialing in the style of bracket based on the style of shooting you're going to be doing. So that's a tough one to answer, to be honest. I know it doesn't seem like a tough one to answer, but it's a tough one to answer for sure. I'll put that link in that chat. I like that bracket a lot, actually. And you can take it apart and flip it or add more to it if you want. So it's almost like an underneath cheese plate kind of a deal. So I appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, Edgar, I answered your question earlier, man. You're gonna have to watch the playback. Hopefully I gave you some good I don't know, tips, insights. I don't even know what do I give you guys? Is this, would you call this tips? I don't even know. And don't forget, I'm not the end all, guys. Like, I'm just giving you what I know from what I've been through, you know, and what I'm around. Like, so I'm never saying that I am the end all here. Okay. Also, Edgar, sandbag the snot out of that setup if you do it. If you're doing 2 9-foot rolls, like, you can't go wrong with more counterweight. Okay. But yeah. Yo, be good, Omar. Listen, I got to get you in here, man. Hit me up. Let's get you booked. All right. 2026 is going to be over before you know it. We got to get you. Let's do a demo. Come on, Omar. Whew. Which softbox would you recommend for a portable handheld lighting set based on? Well, you really got to ask yourself, how much do you really want to have in your hand? If you do a 3-foot octa, you have 3 feet that you've got to wrestle with and long arm it. If you have someone that's assisting you and they can hold the box, that's when I would go to a 3-foot. But if I was just hanging around 2-foot boxes, even strips are good because you can have a bar and get it out of your way and just shoot that way. If you really want to drive yourself crazy, you can do a shoot through umbrella, which, don't get me started, but you know, you're gonna want to make a compromise between a larger light for that softer feel versus how much is in your way while you're working, you know. I'm glad you appreciate it. I hope I'm helping you guys out. The comment that I got last week is staying in my mind like no tomorrow, but it is what it is. This is an open format, and I think it's rare. I think that we don't have, especially in on channels like this, to have back and forth, open, no safety net, do what we can, make it happen, communal. Like, I think you guys know each other in this chat by now, right? Like, that doesn't happen out of nowhere. So I think having this format is important, even if the numbers aren't that great, because they're not. This is not the most viewed series that we have, for sure. This is also not the most viral thing out there. These are hour-long hangouts, right? So I appreciate you guys showing up for me live, because I can't do this without you guys in that chat. And watching this back after it's live is a massive help. Leaving comments is a massive help. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, but we are on the home stretch here of the 100K. 100,000 subscribers is about to hit this channel sooner than I thought. So we are at 91,500 as I'm speaking to you right now. If you are new here, you're going to want to hit subscribe. Boom. You like that? You're going to want to hit subscribe, because I think this channel has been a massive resource for a lot of people, but people just aren't discovering it, or they're hesitant to hit click onto something that's either live or long format. A lot of people just wanted a quick answer to something they're Googling as a question, and it doesn't often lead to someone viewing something that's an hour long and live, right? I'm trying to bring you guys credible people, variable people, like varied, like different styles, different approaches, different philosophies, different genres. I'm trying, you know, I'm trying. Softboxes, round or square. I've heard different opinions on square being out of style. That makes no sense to me. There's no out of style when it comes to modifiers. Every modifier is a tool. That's like saying, oh, screwdrivers are so out of style. What are you talking about? So when it comes to, I feel like let me see if I got something here. Okay, hang on. So I get asked this a lot, and I think no matter how many times we answer it, no one's going to totally, oh, what did I just step on? A grip arm, cool. With a round softbox, you got a few things, right? One, you have extra surface area to blow past your subject. No matter where you put it, you'll have more surface area to go around or past your subject to allow for things like spilling into another zone, like the background, or into a bounce, right? If this was something that was more narrow and directed, right? Even without the grid, it doesn't have the same surface area. But guess what, guys? These are both 3-foot modifiers, different shapes, right? So if you need to control the spill of light, the spread of light, the direction of light, I mean, I could do things with a strip light that I could not do with a Octa. I could trick one or the other to feel a little closer to one or the other. If you know what you're doing, you can definitely fudge some modifiers to act a little differently or to do things that they're really not doing. But the reality is, it's about surface area, spread, controllability, and things like that. The other thing that a lot of people say, which I think is the stupidest, I hate it, and I know I sound like a jerk right now, but when people go, oh, well, the catch lights, the rectangles look like a window, while the softbox looks like a blah, blah, blah. Shut up. I don't care. I've never looked and said, you know what? This photo would have been great had there been a rectangular catch light in the eye there. I would have been really into it, but sadly they went with with an Octa. Shut up. Like, seriously, just shut up. There is no such thing as an out of style tool. There are tools that do certain things and how we use them. Okay. There's a lot of things that are coming out now that people think are brand new ideas, like focusing spotlights that shoot patterns and like hearts and whatever. That has been around for a long time. Those came from stage lights, focusing spotlights. It's nothing new. It's just they found a way to repackage it and sell it to you, right? So, and now it's just way more accessible. So, for example, the focusing spotlight that I had forever was literally a modified stage light, like ripped out of a theater here in New York. It was a brand called Altman, and there used to be a place here called Flash Clinic, which was so cool as a kid to go there. Rest in peace, Flash Clinic. But I had them modify it. They actually put a flash tube in it and they hot wired it for a Speedotron pack, which has been one of the coolest things I had to work with over the years. Now you just take a focusing spotlight off the shelf and just mount it to a light like it's no big deal, which is kind of nuts. I mean, we're at a point where there's focusing spotlights for that little tiny 5C Nanlite Evoke 5C that I showed you a week ago. Like, you just magnet right on, you got a gobo, and you have all that light control. But years ago, you didn't have that. So they're just finding ways to make them easier, more accessible, cost-effective, portable, and which is very cool. But there is no such thing as a tool going out of style. And if someone is saying that, then they probably are really boring with whatever they shoot, because they just lean on the modifier doing all the work rather than you creating the lights you want and having the tools to do so. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I still have that light, yes. It's sitting on the floor of the gear closet in me and Daniel's studio for sure. And Daniel actually used it. Oh man. Oh man. Oh my God, hold on. Daniel Norton Beauty? He used it in a video. He actually borrowed it from me a million years ago when we were like pirates in here. And it was so funny because it had a big piece of gaff tape on it that said Last Witness on it. He shot Marissa. Oh my God, what was her name? No, it's not On Set. Oh man, Dan, I forgot what the name of it was. Beauty campaign? I really hope I can find this video because it was so cool watching him use a light that sometimes it's cool when you hand over equipment you've had. Oh, I know where I could find it. You hand over equipment you have to someone you trust that does amazing stuff, and you go, all right, what could you do with it and how would you use it? And it was just kind of cool. Let me just take a look at Daniel's playlist really quick, and I'm still here though, guys. I'm sorry. Bring it into demo. So in order for me to bring it in, I got to bring in a lot of heavy equipment that goes with it. And I am not going to do that, guys. I'm sorry. No, maybe if it happens to be, I pull it in for something else. But really, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm talking about a power pack that's about this big, probably 30 pounds. and I'm on a train by myself. Like, no. Maybe if we're live at my studio, well, sometime I'll pull it out of the closet for you guys and we'll take a look at it. But I gotta, where's Dan's playlist? Onset live, but what about onset? Where is onset? TTL, production, onset full playlist, 324 videos. Guys, Daniel has 324 videos on this playlist. I'm gonna give you guys this link because it's, you guys should look, oh my gosh, look at all this. What was dramatic patterns with speed lights? Actor headshots. This had to have been, man, like 10 years ago, actually. But I remember the thumbnail being very spotlit. So let me see. Like, look at all this stuff. My gosh. I know I'm probably killing the stream right now. This was a great one. The location portrait with Marissa in the subway. Oh, so awesome. He did a great job on that one for sure. Wow, so many. This guy, just unbelievable. Watched your Varipole video. You're the only one I know that calls them Varipole. They're auto poles. Ordered a kit for the 11-foot wide home studio. Okay, 11 feet is a nice amount of, that's kind of what we have here a little bit. I really want to find this. Guys. I'm not going to lie to you, because I kind of want you to see what he did with it. Was very cool. And we were talking about it, so why not bring it up? That's another reason why I like these streams. Are just kind of hanging out, and it doesn't have to be so stiff and overly curated. There's definitely never a script. I mean, I never have a script, but using color to create, capturing lip art. Was that it? No, it can't be it. Could it be it? Let me see. Oh, he used a parabolic. Wow, that's young Daniel right there. Unbelievable. Hang on. Oh yeah, I remember the skincare campaign video. I remember that one. That was a wow. Wow, am I having some oh, when we shot at Comic-Con in the middle of the, oh, you guys have to see this. So a long time ago, me and Dan, we shot at Comic-Con. This is the press room at the Javits Center. So the Comic-Con video you guys see on my channel, like this is the same Comic-Con. And Daniel was in the middle of the lobby, and he just, like, the line that he had going down the block basically to be photographed by him, you just never saw it. Like, it was just very, very cool to see a photographer just walk in there and just everybody was like, I got to shoot with this guy. So there's me in the white. Look at me wearing a hat, being a jerk. Oh my God. Look at me long arm in that. Look at that. That is some vintage Seth right there, man. Unbelievable. This was so much fun. And he shot it in front of the New York Comic-Con poster and everything. Yeah, it was very cool. So anyway, let me go back. It had to have been before that for sure, I think. I'm live. You know what? I guess I'm not going to find it because I don't know what he titled it. And this is way too far back now. Okay, well, if I find it, maybe I'll throw it in the comments if I can. Let me just text him really quick. Watch him not answer his phone for the millionth time, even though he has an iWatch, an Apple Watch, whatever you call it. Hey, what was the name of the video where you used my Altman focusing spotlight? If he gets back to me. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. I probably just murdered the stream. I bet everybody left now, but whatever. It is what it is. Oh, no, I appreciate you guys. Well, you know, it was right after I got another comment. So if you guys are on my Instagram, did you see the clip I did of the demo I did with Kate here with the purple hair? A guy left a comment like, why are you making it so complicated? Just go shoot and have fun. And I'm like, Yeah, that's what I'm doing with endless classes, demos, answering all your questions, trying to explain and simplify so it's understandable. That's what I'm doing. I'm confusing everything. Or maybe there's people out there that aren't getting the type of images they want to create and are wondering how they can go do that and why. Because guess what? Like Absise says, there's levels to this. And at some point, people want to step up a little bit, you know? It's just kind of like, why do people have to say anything? You know, it's just, I should have a thicker skin than this, but, you know, maybe it's this one. Wow, Daniel's shooting a Nikon DSLR. That was the days. Oh, we got it. Cool. Check it out. Found it. Okay, so this is Daniel. Here, I'll put the link in the chat so you guys can check it out. Copy. Boom. So this is 9 years ago. Daniel asked me if he could borrow my Altman focusing spotlight. Well, we have like no Wi-Fi here. So this is the light. So this was a light that was oh, come on, man. So this was, wow. So this is the actual light. I'm not making this up. Like, that's the actual light. This isn't like a modifier that goes in front of the light. That is the actual light. So inside there is a big piece of glass that has all this travel. And here's the gobo, and back here was the strobe head and the strobe tube itself. The thing about the strobe tube was it was a different, what is going on, man? Sorry, someone's like hammering right now. The strobe was not at the same place as the tungsten bulb that was in there, the halogen bulb rather. And so when you had the modeling light projecting the pattern, it focused different than the tube did. So you would actually unfocus it. And I have a mark on here where you would defocus it so that it would then match the strobe tube. So when it fired the strobe, it was actually focused, if that makes any sense. But and there's my power pack. Look at that. So I spray painted all that's the size of that power pack, just so you guys have an idea. I spray painted it all. I was big on that. So everybody always had to mark their gear everywhere you went here in New York, because there it is, big slapped on Last Witness with gaff tape there. And here, this piece would also move back and forth. So you could focus the tube and you could focus the glass. And so this piece right here is actually a piece of cinefoil that Daniel, I think he pierced it with like a needle for a very, very small aperture to make like a laser beam of a strobe. And then there's my light. Yeah, so Last Witness on the side. I had my pinup girl on the side. And that was 2400 watt seconds, pigtailed into a 4800 watt second. Yeah, so there it is. He made a nice little poked hole in there. And there's a 1-inch A-clamp to hold it. See, another place that you would love to have an A-clamp, right? There's that. Oh, wait, hold on. So the halogen bulb he has sitting on top, he probably had to replace it because it blew out. So this box right here is another extra halogen bulb because you would go through them, especially if you touched it. You never wanted to touch the halogen bulb because the oils from your skin would burn on the glass and would actually pop and explode. All right. And so he made a cinefoil snoot on another light. So it was all about control, right? So you can actually see here that the modeling light is just flying through the fan here. Like, this is how completely DIY this light was. I mean, it was something else. And you just had all this control, but it wasn't this readily available thing that you could just get off the shelf, you know? So we had to rig it with Pocket Wizards to fire. And that was, I mean, he was crushing it. I mean, these are such cool shots, you know? I mean, come on. How cool is this? Lots of control. And when you have lots of control, that means sorry guys, like I'm losing train of thought. Someone's banging something together. When you have this much control, every decision is so deliberate. It's all on you, right? So, and when Daniel has the bandana on, you know he's serious. So this was a very technical shoot. What's funny was I wasn't even in the room when he was doing it. He just asked me if he could borrow my light and then gave it back to me. I think he actually handed it back to me right here. So there you go. That's the focusing lens element. Look at the size of that glass, dude. Because it was a stage light. I mean, this was, not only was this a stage light, but you see this? This is a clip so that you could put gels in front of it. And this was a holder for like a screen, like a mesh. So you could cut down some of the power coming through. You would shoot it through a wire mesh. And you based on the frequency of the mesh is how many stops of light that you would lose, which was the point of it. And so you could see like this dot of light that he's aiming on her, and he's just trying to make these cool portraits happen, you know? Actually, let me text him and tell him, never mind, I'm playing it live. Right now. So yeah, that was the Altman focusing spot, man. It was, and this was Daniel 10 years ago, man. So this right here is interesting because these ports were for 2400 watt second lights, but I had the Altman wired for 4800 watt seconds, and I had the tube in there, the strobe tube, be a 4800 watt second tube. So it was one stop higher in power, so it could handle more abuse. Also, I could throw a ton of light through it if I had a 4800 watt second pack. However, because of that, the plug for the light is a completely different, like it's an added pin or a missing pin or a different pin configuration, and it won't plug into a different pack than what it's meant for, right? So if you had a lower power pack going to a higher powered light, you could actually go what they call a pigtail. And so you would have a 4800 watt second female socket here and a 2400 watt second pin array male pin here. So it's very cool, right? I don't know. This was just one of those times. It was just, you know, the back in the pirate days, and you guys have it so easy now. You had, not only do you have it easy, but it's available, but you know it exists. Imagine having no concept of what the potential of the tools that are out there are, or what you could do with it or whatever, right? So it's one of those things that I hope people appreciate, not just because of like what the shot is or that it's weird or different, but that it was conceptualized and then custom built to come to fruition. Does that make sense to you guys? I hope this went well. If you guys get it like, I'd appreciate it. Is that Axl Rose? No, just Daniel with a bandana. Sorry we like went down that road, but go check out that video. It was very cool to hear Dan and how he used my own light. I was putting glass plates in there, tempered glass plates, and I was spray painting matte black barbecue paint, like high heat paint, to make my own gobos. And I was doing like the Batman symbol, and do I have the Batman symbol on my phone? I made the Venom logo, and it was just a cool time in my life when I was able to slow down and really do things like that. Can't say that much anymore because everything's just so fast and has to be like go, 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 go. Let me see if I can find the Batman logo. Oh, okay, cool. Let me see if I can show you guys this. So this is when I made the Batman logo with that light. So I made two versions. The light was the logo, and then the actual bat signal, right? So that you could, so I could do that as like a background for something. And then this is how it looked projected on my own chest, because I was like, how could I not do that? You know? It was very cool. It was very cool. And the Venom logo I bet you I can find that actually, because I know what folder it's in. The Venom logo was for an actual Venom makeup that I had to shoot, but it wasn't like, it was just a test. It wasn't like a real hardcore shoot. I swear, this guy that's banging and hammering things while I'm trying to be live here. Welcome to my life, guys. Nothing can ever just be straightforward and simple. What time is it? Oh man, I'm over time anyway. Hang on, let me just find this Venom logo. And we'll call it. You guys, as a Batman fan, I approve of this logo. Yeah, it was funny because like my hardest decision was actually like, which era Batman do I do? So this is the Venom logo projected onto the chest of a guy that I shot as Venom. And that was back in 2012, you can see over here. So that was a long time ago. But yeah. So that was done with a glass plate. I cut the Venom logo out of vinyl, peeled it, sprayed the glass plate with high heat barbecue, matte black opaque barbecue paint, let it set for like a couple days, then peeled the vinyl decal off that I made, and I had a shoot through gobo for the Venom logo. So, you know, we do some things. Oh man. All right. I got to call it there, guys, because I really got to get out of here. Listen, if you are new to this channel, please hit subscribe. If you're watching this on playback, let's do type the word Bialy. I bet you half of you don't even spell it right. Do you even know what a Bialy is? If it's a form of bagel. It goes adjacent to bagels. Bialy. All right, guys. I'm gonna lose my mind with this kid that's hammering something together right now. Okay, Wednesday, I'm live, Coffee with Creators. Don't forget that the 13th, we got Neil Lightford coming in for Coffee with Creators. Then the 20th, we got Jeremy Saffer coming in for Coffee with Creators and a demo where he shoots a band live. Make sure you are staying up on Adorama events right there. Hit follow on the Adorama events Eventbrite and all the stuff. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of it if you want to stay up on this. I think, was Daniel live last week? I think Dan was live last week, right? Thursday. Go check that one out. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Let's see what happens at the Met Gala. Maybe we'll see some photographers have some crazy setups, or hopefully no one gets hurt, because I remember last year a guy took a spill. But, you know. Oh, well, mahalo from Hawaii. What's going on from New York? Yo, what's up from New York? Don't forget to hit subscribe on this channel, guys. Okay, you're on this channel. Hit subscribe. 100K is within reach. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get that silver play button. And I thank you guys so much for being part of this. I think that's it, right? Yeah. Anyways, we'll see you guys on the next one. Be good to each other, okay? Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you some chat room somewhere. Bye.